So what we have here is the 2022 Surron Light BX. Got a few things done to it. Got some pegs. They're bigger than the stock ones. The stock ones really suck. These are bigger and better and kind of grippier. Got this seat on it. Got the taller bars. Got some grips. Just put a new tire on it. Everything performs perfectly. There's no leaking forks or anything like that. Got some adjustments on the forks here, rebound and preload. It's got our headlight works. You turn the key on. This bike has 718 miles. I put about 150 of those on this thing past couple days. It's got a headlight and a tail light. The rear brake is by your finger here. This thing's sweet for doing wheelies, and you can, keep the front end down with your finger there. The battery here, it shows your percentage. We're at 52%. So on this ride, it'll be a little bit slower than what it is when it's 100%, but it's fairly close. The battery, you take these two out, you can pull the battery out. Here's the charging port for it. So we're gonna take it for a little bit of a ride. Show you kind of what it feels like. So just a few reasons why I love the Surron. Doesn't make any noise. You not bothering the neighbors of the 450. You can still have your fun and late at night. And it's super awesome. I think they have plenty of power too. I'm used to 450s. I've had 450s. I've had KTM 500s. I've had built 2-strokes. I've had everything. And this thing still scratches the itch. It's still fast enough that it's kind of gives me that fun, but it also is slow enough that it's not going to get you in a ton of trouble or anything. And normally people don't really care when you're riding like this, in the middle of the road or whatever. For the 450, I'm going to get some side eyes and maybe not the most happy people that I'm ripping a super loud 450. Like this lady would be pissed. But now she'll probably just look at this bike and be like, oh, what is that? It's kind of cool. It's not bothering anyone or whatever. You can have fun in the parks and around the neighborhood without, pissing people off, obviously. So it's got 2 modes on it. You got your normal, eco mode. That gets about 40 miles of range on a full battery, which is crazy. And the throttle response and everything is okay. I normally ride in sport, but as you can see, it's good enough to just kind of cruise around. I don't know if you can see that, but that was full throttle. Goes up to about 30 miles an hour. Once you turn on sport, as you can see there too, this is what's interesting. When I go up to speed here, it kind of cruises a lot more, but when you put it on sport, you see how it kind of regens and slows it down a lot more. So it's a full different riding experience. It's way more poppy, and it has a higher top speed. It'll slow down a little bit more, kind of like engine braking on a dirt bike or whatever. But yeah, so that's basically everything about this bike. We're just gonna cruise around. I'm gonna go get something to drink. We're just gonna go to the gas station real quick here. Full throttle right now. Getting this drink, we'll play around in the desert a little bit, show you what it can do in the desert, kind of on some trails. We'll take it up some hills to show you how quickly it gets up some hills and doesn't really hesitate. I haven't really had a problem going up anything too crazy, but I also haven't tried it, so we'll try some stuff here and cruise around, show you what it's like. I'm gonna get my drink here. This is also what I love. You're not pulling up to on a 450 doing this. No one cares about this thing at all. Super awesome. And it's got a key, so check this out. No one's gonna steal it. This is cool. Sick. What do you think? Should I take this or what? Dang, this is a cool little spot. Chill. Sit on this. Reminisce. Pretty awesome. Not really the typical sight to see in Arizona. Got a little spot here, got some one of these little jumps. Got this little booter I just hit. I hit this perfectly. That's kind of fun. The other thing I love about the surron is how you can turn around. Super easy. In these tight areas. With a bigger bike of the clutch, it's a little difficult to do that. I've been practicing doing it, that's why I'm a little bit okay on this thing. But I'm almost the faster rider on this than a dirt bike. It's just so, the stopping power is crazy. You can stop so quickly, it's just so light. And it just has such like, you know, it's really hard to do this in a bike. Or, you know, on a dirt bike, to be able to lift this up like this is not the easiest thing in the world to do unless you have a recluse. You know, let's hit this. I'm not gonna promise I'm gonna send that, but this kind of gets a little sketchy in the sand. Hard pack is great, has no problems, but this just kind of spins around a little bit. Nothing too crazy, like it's totally rideable as you can see. This stuff isn't crazy thick sand at all, but it's definitely enough to get it a little squirrely when you don't want it to. Yeah, see, dude, like it just wants, I could just feel it wanting to come out from under me, which sucks. This is harder. It just stopped instantly. Not like scared of the sand by any means, but it's definitely, you've got to be a little more careful than like a 250 or 450 or something. But I think that con, the pros definitely outweigh that con. You could still have a ton of fun, and for about the same price. And it's also really interesting, like this stuff. I ride this trail all the time on my dirt bike. Whenever I'm trying to sell it on, I'd take this for the test ride pretty much. You know, once I get it back home and want to ride it, is where I go. And I'm definitely faster. Just a little bit, you know, hold me back a little bit. But I'm also not super used to the surron yet. It's still fairly new. So maybe after a little bit I get better, but definitely sick. Almost right there. I didn't want to get more scratches on my arm. That's the spot I always get scratched. So I'm wearing a short sleeve. Weather's perfect out right now. It's November in Arizona, November about 15th. Freaking short sleeve. I could definitely be wearing shorts right now. This is just perfect. I'm like barely hot, but also cool enough that I could ride all day. Does not get better than this. And it does spin. Like, I can get it to spin a little bit into that soft pack, but just for like half a second. You're not ripping burnouts or, you know, doing enough spinning where it's going to spin you out or anything. It just kind of skips a little bit and then grabs. I don't know, maybe this thing has traction control or something. Or, no, it doesn't, because on the stand I'll hit the throttle and it still goes. It doesn't kick in a traction control or anything. So it's definitely just, I don't know. My opinions on the surron is it has enough power for anything you need, but it doesn't have too much power ever. Versus a 450, when that too much power really does do you some good in those either, you know, sketchy situations or when there's a lot of sand. You can power through that and be totally fine. But on this, you're kind of digging and it's going to slow you down. And hopefully you have enough momentum to get through it. If not, at least this bike is like 100 pounds. You can just pick it up. No big deal. I'll show you guys some wheelies maybe. I'm no good at wheelies. I mean, I could really like a three-wheeler, but this thing, I'm not really the best at. I don't want to fall over all the place to do it, but it's definitely wheeliable. If you got the balance point, you could sit there all day, but you're not going more than 20 miles an hour, I bet. I think I looked down when I was up enough to make it seem like I was able to get it all the way up. I think I was going like 22 was the fastest. When you're standing up, you can go a lot faster for sure. And standing up, it wants to get up